Hey there! How are you?
Welcome back.
I know, we hope you're well, and we are coming to you again with another video. And this video, I guess, is,
It's about Joshua.
yeah, it's a little different, So, because it's just really, we're going to entitle it Lessons from Joshua. Um, Joshua is your favorite guy, right?
Yeah, I think I feel
Joshua's her
almost bad
person.
to say it, but he's top 5 and most likely top 1. My top person.
How can you say top one? Yeah, anyways, that's her person. She really likes Joshua. Um, do you want to share quickly why you like him so much?
Um, we're gonna get off topic if I do.
Is it short and succinct, or you can't make it short and succinct?
There's a couple reasons. I mean, I one of the things is I do love that, he studied under Moses for quite a long time, and that he was almost a diffident leader. Like, I don't want to say reluctant, but when he takes over from Moses, the Most High continually has to tell him, only be strong and very courageous. And for me, when I read that, I see somebody who is not courageous, or somebody who's stepping into a big position, a big platform for the first time. And I love how the Most High is constantly encouraging him and bolstering him up and saying, no man will be able to stand before you. Wherever you go, I'm going to be with you. Don't fear, don't fear, don't fear. So I love that this is someone who is able to step into leadership, but with the support and the backing of a loving father. Like, he's not doing it of his own might. He desperately needs the Most High to shore him up. So that's one thing. Another thing I love is that, the fact that the Most High trusted him with one of the most important um, agenda items on his to-do list, moving the children of Israel from Egypt to the promised land. So now this crossover, now you've moved out of
From
Egypt, you
right?
moved out of the wilderness. Now this actual crossing over the Jordan and moving in to possess the land, the land of milk and honey. These are the promises that he gave, goes back Abraham, like, I'm going to give this to you, I'm going to give this to you. And so now he's ready to give it to the children of Israel. Who does he choose to lead them? With such a sensitive task, such an important task, such a task that requires complete holiness in the leader, and it requires might, requires physical strength, requires the will, your heart to actually be 100% sold out. So the fact that Joshua was chosen, and he wasn't chosen right at the moment that we're about to now move into the promised land, he was chosen way back when. He was chosen back when he was apprenticing under Moses. And so now the Most High has had years and years, decades, to now just develop him and develop him for such a time as this. Now, this is now the reason why I have called you. And so I just find that really, really special. And I'm like, if God thinks that he's special, there is something really, really special about him, because not everybody gets chosen for such a task as this. Yeah, so those are just some of the reasons. But yeah, every time I get a chance to read Joshua, I'm just completely in love.
Awesome. So, I believe, I don't know if this is just is this Joshua 1 or just Joshua period?
It's Joshua 7.
Okay, so this is just, let's just call it lesson 1.
Yeah.
And I think it's just interesting for me. I guess she's saying, I always want to call you my Tilo. Joshua is from Joshua 7. And basically, the way that Joshua knew that something was wrong was when the children of Israel were defeated. So basically, the children of Israel go out to war, as the Most High has instructed them, and they have just a momentous defeat. This is following up to Jericho, where they were massively successful marching around Jericho. And now they go out and they, experience a defeat. And, I think, if I remember correctly, Joshua's really bummed about it. He's just like, what's going on?
He tore his clothes.
He's like, what in the world? And as far as I'm concerned,
he I want to say he lost it. Maybe it was a crash out.
Following what, you were just sharing about the whole idea of, being the apprenticing and all of this and knowing here he is, he knows what the prescription is, he knows exactly what to do, so he's just like, I'm doing everything that I'm supposed to do. What happened?
He knows 1 + 1, yeah,
Equals 2.
It's like this is a problem. Like, we are not supposed to lose.
No. And so here he is just kind of wondering, like, what's going on. And basically after, he makes some inquiry, he's able to figure out that there is some sin that's happened, that there's some sort of transgression, that's occurred. And basically that they have violated the covenant by two things. One, taking accursed things, and the fact that they stole and that they deceived. And that was something that was problematic, that they were just instructed not to do.
I wouldn't say a covenant, but they did violate the instruction or the law that they were given to not take their cursed things.
I thought it was more like, the reason I guess I wrote covenant is because that was a covenant that they had with the Most High, that
overall,
they had,
but
right.
But there was a specific instruction in terms of Jericho, like, do not take,
take
such and such and take such and such, but do not take anything that's accursed.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is what they did.
Which is what they did.
And I think that, I guess for me, the lesson, I'll just say it this way, that the lesson that we learn here is that we need to be willing to remove two things. One, the cursed things, and the people who are problematic. So it's interesting because it's like, oftentimes, again, we've talked about this in several videos that we've done. It's like, we just really need to be mindful about things that we have in our households that are problematic. Do you know what I'm saying? There's just so much stuff. You have, dream catchers, you have, Ouija boards, or I don't know, there's just stuff that you guys, that we all, what's the word, that we all collect and gather, maybe from traveling,
tarot cards,
from doing all sorts
maybe
of
you
things.
Don't use them, but maybe somebody's left some tarot cards or some cards or something like that in your house,
and you still have them. So there's lots of things that we have that are problematic. And I think this is now, we've had several videos about this. This is now when you do the spiritual mapping one, or you now start going through the Rolodex. I think through our witchcraft series, I feel like we had something, we're just going through the Rolodex. What are these things? You pray about it. Most High, please show me, what are the things that I have in the household that are things that you will not be, you know what I'm saying, that you will not be pleased with, and then
maybe as you're decluttering, that might actually be a great prayer.
Yeah, to show me, and because it's true, sometimes you're moving, or you have these things and just stuff that that's just built up, and
maybe even
you
like
haven't gone
clothes
through.
that somebody's given you that is actually problematic, that you don't realize is actually, something cursed or something that's bringing trouble to you.
Right. Or also, it could be maybe even loved ones things. Like, let's say you inherited things that you haven't, like for us, just a quick personal story. Like, when our mother passed, there was just a lot of stuff of hers that it just took us so long to go through. And it was something that I personally did not want to do, so I just kept on pushing it. And then you finally have to, like, go through and process things. Do you see what I'm saying? So I know sometimes you may have had stuff that someone gave you that you've just put in the side of the corner, and you haven't looked at.
You haven't processed it.
You haven't processed it at all, because it's just been something that's been really heavy, so you've just delayed it. So by the time you now process it, you just have to process it. So it could be something like that. You just have stuff that you haven't gone through yet. And then the other thing is just to be clear, it's just the people who are problematic. And the reason I say that is because ultimately, when the consequence of the whole thing with Joshua and the defeat at Ai is that it's Achan, right? Achan. Achan dies. So so it's interesting to bring it up this way, but I'm just saying that maybe sometimes you do have to say goodbye to some people. Do you know what I'm saying? You have to recognize that, okay, this person is a person that represents something, or still doesn't want to turn from their wicked ways, that you might have to cut that person off from your life in
Mm.
order for you now to have the success that you need to, because that person is a weight. If that person is constantly dabbling in all sorts of darkness
Mm.
and just stuff that is just not where you are going, if you're moving towards light,
Mm-hmm.
you cannot take that person with you. And that's just something we just have to accept. As sad as it is, and what have you, we just have to accept that.
Yeah, if you want to get to where, I mean, at the end of the day, you need to live your best life. And in order to live your best life, oftentimes you're going to have to cut certain things out. Um, Otherwise, it becomes a weight and you end up shortchanging yourself. So you never actually get to reach your destiny or fulfill your destiny.
Mm.
So, so yeah, and I think it's very important. Like, we should be using these stories in the Bible as templates. Um, they're not just mere stories. It's like, this is an example, and how could it apply to my life? Because if what Joshua did was like, hey, please, Achan, you need to confess. Did you or did you not? And he confesses. He tells them where to find the contraband. They dig it up, you know, and then he still dies. I mean, at the end of the day, this is a man who was responsible. I think it was 36 people died. People died because he did this. So there's a consequence. So you might be actually living a consequence of something. And the question is, do you want to continue to see those same results, or do you want to see better results? And if in order to see better results means you're going to have to cut some things or move some people out of your life, it's really, really hard, because this is something that really applies to me in terms, especially in terms of like, I want to say like friendships. Um, it's really hard to either accept that, maybe this particular person in my life is not helpful for where the Most High wants for me to go. Maybe this person is a weight.
Mm.
Um, and, as I see the Most High either moving people out or, creating some distance, sometimes I'm like holding on.
You're so holding on.
And every now and then I'm just like, oh, maybe I should text this person. Oh, maybe I should check in. Maybe I should whatever. But is that person helping me get to where the Most High is trying to get me to?
Mm.
And maybe this is actually what I need. So it's that thing that I'm constantly asking myself or challenging myself with, that maybe this is actually what I need to be able to ascend to that next level.
Mm. Mm.
Because we can't get there together. Israel, the children of Israel and Achan, they couldn't get to success together. Somebody had to go.
Well, the interesting thing is that, just going back to, again, this is why it's lessons from, going back to the original, the scripture, when you read the whole story about Achan and the consequences that he faces.
Mm-hmm.
Was this the one where it was him and his family? I can't remember. It's you feel so sorry for them. But then just when you were talking, just when Tila was talking, it just made me think back to the whole idea of before. And the Most High is consistent with this. Before they went into battle, what did he do? Before they went into battle, what did the Most High do?
What, consecrated?
Okay, no. So let me just answer it.
Okay.
Before they went into battle, he reminded them. He's so consistent with this. He reminded them. He said, hey. All right, so we about to go into, this was the game plan. It's like the coach. Come on in. We about to go into AI. This is what I'm going to tell you. Don't take nothing, because sometimes it changed. Sometimes they could take the loot. They could take like the cattle and sometimes I guess the women or whatever. Some women I guess weren't problematic. Sometimes it was a whole kill everybody dead, even the animals. Like, so he gave you instructions right before. Like,
so it's fresh in your mind.
It's fresh. So then you have to really think, if we take ourselves out of it, what made Achan? And this is someone who's seen the might of him. He's seen the spiritual movement and power of the Most High. What made him take it if it's not, I was going to say, the seed of the enemy? Like, sometimes it's just like, you were just told, hey, Don't do that. And you can't say it was 20 years. No, no, no. You were just told right before. It's almost like, you go to the store with your kids and I tell them, hey, don't touch nothing. Don't do, there are rules. I just told you, right, fresh. I told you right before I opened the door to the Dollar Tree. Don't touch anything. Don't play with anything. We're not buying anything. Or whatever your rules are. You gave the rules. And as soon as you walk in the store, someone does something. So it is different. Obviously, it's a difference when you're talking about kids and an adult. An adult should understand this. So I just think that it's so interesting that he still took something that was a curse. Like, what was in him deep inside that you still went and you violated the Most High's commandments or instructions? What is wrong? I want to say kasoro. How do you say kasoro in English?
Mentally, just something off.
Something off.
But yeah, his whole family was basically stoned. They brought him into a valley. His family, his animals, everything that belonged to him.
Okay.
Everything that's attached to this man, and they stoned them to death, and then they burned them.
And I think there's a reason to that. It's got
to be done. It has to, everything related.
And I think there's a reason to
rooted
that.
Out.
I think rooted out. And I think it's because there was probably, this is an unpopular opinion, but I do think that, this is a little bit of a tangent. I think we might have time for this. I'm wondering if also, when the great multitude, or when the people are coming out of Egypt, if also one of the issues is that there had to be some refining happening. I don't know if also over time there was maybe some intermixing, and so you have, some blood that is more diluted and hence not as pure as it should be. And I'm wondering if those mixings and what have you were the people who are, soon as Moses and Joshua are coming down from the mountain, of the people, dancing around the golden cow, because we just saw the sea part. Why are we dancing around the cow? It's too soon, people. I'm wondering if there's still like the Most High is still kind of like taking these problematic blood types out. And I don't know. I know it sounds crazy to say it that way, but it just doesn't make sense that he just got the instructions, yet he violated them. But then as a consequence, his whole family had to go. And I think his whole family had to go for a reason. Because I think they were all contaminated with whatever weird...
Well, perhaps the seed continues to grow.
Seed of something that he was just like, nope. Y'all got to go. Even the animals. Now, the poor animals, I don't know what they had to do with it, but even the animals had to go.
Yeah. And it's like, maybe it's symbolic, that everything related to this, like, this is what a cleanup looks like.
Okay.
Like, animals, goats, everything belongs to you, whatever your, everything.
Everything was burnt.
Yeah.
Done.
This is what rooting out looks like.
So some of y'all don't know how to clean house.
You don't know what it looks like. This is what it looks
like. We be doing fake cleans. The Most High showed you what clean up means. Clean up on aisle 7. All the way. Burn it down.
Yeah.
Did you want to share the scripture?
You
wrote it down there. I don't know. You said the instructions and you said this.
Oh, no. So basically, I just wrote the instruction. The actual instruction that the Most High gave was in Joshua 6:18. Saying to the people that they shouldn't take any of the accursed things, lest you become accursed. When you take of the accursed things and make the camp of Israel a curse and trouble it.
Yeah, and I think ultimately, we can end on this, right? I think ultimately, even later on, I think now when, I believe there's a story that once now they're settled, and I don't know which groups, but one of the two tribes had, built an altar. And I think word got around that they built something, and I think maybe it was a little bit of telephone. They may got it wrong, and all the tribes came up, and they came and they're like, or no, not all the tribes. I think they sent emissaries, and they went and they investigated, and they said, "Why are you building something that now is going to trouble us?" And I'm glad at that point, they're recognizing that, hey, one person doing something, we all are going to be affected. And then
even if you're in Nebraska,
yeah.
What you're doing over there, because you're one of us,
because you're
we're
engrafted,
together.
Right?
No.
It's going to affect us.
No, sir.
And then they recognize that, actually, it was an altar to the Most High for them to remind themselves of of something, I guess, what he's taken them through, and they're like,
But I
oh,
love
okay,
that.
this one
I
is
love that.
okay.
I love that.
Mm.
That just that spiritual awareness
Mm.
that what any one of us is doing is
Has an
actually
effect.
going to affect all of us. That we are one.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I feel like
And we're
in
interconnected.
this day and age, we feel, well, I'm going to do what I'm going to do. You know,
Can't nobody tell me
yeah,
what.
exactly. So we have that
You do it.
spirit,
I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do.
and I don't think that people realize how connected we are, and that we are actually more powerful together. Meaning, if we come in one accord, just like building the Tower of Babel, when we come in one accord,
It's a coordinates.
yeah, and we're able to achieve something that is something to be reckoned with. And because we don't come in one accord, we don't. I mean, yeah, we're coming in one accord on target, but you know, because we don't typically come in one accord, we're receiving the fruit looks the way it does. So the fruit can be a lot better.
Awesome.
Yeah, with that kind of unity.
Well, we hope that you've liked this, the lessons that we had to share from Joshua 6 or Joshua 7.
6, 7, 8.
Yeah, 6, 7, 8. And we hope this blesses you. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.